Crucible is like no other venue.
For 17 days,
you have to be mentally
and physically strong.
If you switch off for a moment,
you could be going home.
It's every player's dream
to walk out onto that stage.
You hear the announcer.
This is Sheffield, this is the Crucible, and it's time.
and the crowd roars.
Dense silence.
It can make or break players.
But it can become like a second home.
Lifting the trophy can change your life.
All the practice.
All the sacrifices.
To be Betfred World Snooker Champion.
To be Betfred World Snooker Champion.
To be Betfred World Snooker Champion.
It's everything.
The Betfred World Snooker Championships.
2022.
The drama has yet to be written.
Hello, after a 9-month season of crisscrossing the continent, at last we are ready for the big one, because in our sport, all roads always lead to Sheffield and the Crucible. It's time for the 2022 Betfred World Snooker Championship. And after 10 absorbing days of action at the English Institute of Sport, we now have the 16 qualifiers to go alongside the 16 top seeds, so there's only one thing left to do. The live draw here in Salford. I'm delighted to be joined by Mark Pearson from Betfred and John Parrott, a man who has lifted and kissed the famous Silver Lady back in 1991. John, this season has been incredible. We've had the big names like Neil Robertson delivering again and again, but for the first time, 5 first-time winners in a single season. It's been bonkers.
That's why it makes this year's World Championship the most wide open I can ever remember. Last year I thought quality-wise it was like I'd never seen anything like it. It's still quality-wise stellar, but it's so wide open. There's no one, I think, I mean, Neil Robertson's 4-1 favourite, probably right because of the way he's played this season, but I can't remember a favourite being that big in price, Mark.
No, 4-1 the field. It is absolutely wide open. We've got 8 previous winners, 21 world titles between them. Now, only 3 debutantes, but bags of experience amongst those qualifiers. There's some qualifiers you really, really want to avoid.
Yeah, most notably perhaps Ding Junhui, Stephen Maguire, Dave Gilbert. Some huge names have come through that cauldron of Judgment Day. John, you've mentioned Neil Robertson. We've seen him before arriving at the Crucible in unbelievable form. Last year, he beat Ronnie O'Sullivan 10-4 to win his maiden Tour Championship title, but then came unstuck against Kyron Wilson in the quarter-finals. Do you think the same will happen this time, or are we looking at a Neil Robertson capable of getting back to the single-table setup?
His confidence-wise, he should be there, shouldn't he? Let's be honest, the season he's had is fantastic, but you do have to go back to 2014, the last time he was actually in the semi-final. I mean, he's played some opening rounds in the last 3 years that have been stellar snooker, and you think he's going to kick on, and it's not quite happened. So there's a slight question mark there. He's the best player in the best form at the moment, but the Crucible's a different thing.
OK, guys, the nerves are jangling. Mark, you are going to draw out the seeds. John, all the blame's on you. You've got the qualifiers. Here we go. This is the live draw for the 2022 Betfred World Snooker Championship.
Number 7.
Number 7, Zhao Xian Tong. What a run to the UK title in December, and he will play...
Number 29.
Jamie Clark beat Graham Dott last night. He was 1 frame from the quarters 2 years ago.
Number 4.
Judd Trump, champion in 2019 and this season's champion of champions.
We'll play number 17.
Hossein Vafai, the debutant, flying the flag for Iran. He said he'd give his last drop of blood to make it to the Crucible. Hopefully he's still got some for that match.
Number 3.
Neil Robertson, the champion in 2010, the man in form, and Robbo will play...
Number 30.
Ashley Hugill, the debutant. What a double to beat Joe O'Connor.
Number 16.
Yan Bingtao, Masters champion last year, Riga Masters champion as a teenager.
We'll play number 27.
We'll play Chris Wakelin. Came through 3 matches at the qualifiers. He's never lost on Judgment Day.
Number 6.
John Higgins, the first of his 4 titles back in 1998.
We'll play number 25.
Oh, Tekshire Unnu. He played John Higgins on his debut. Tekshire's had Higgins, Trump and Ronnie, and now Higgins again. Brutal.
Number 5.
Kyron Wilson, World and Masters finalist, 4 times a ranking event winner.
We'll play number 19.
Oh, Ding Junhui, 14 times a ranking event winner, came through qualifying and made the final in 16.
Number 9.
Barry Hawkins, finalist in 2013, 3 times a ranking event winner. And the Hawk will play, John?
Number 31.
Jackson Page, what a great debut that's going to be for the young Welshman after his 10-6 win over David Grace yesterday.
Number 1.
Mark Selby, the reigning defending Betfred world champion, going for a 5th.
We'll play number 20.
Jamie Jones, back for a 5th Crucible campaign. He was in fine form at the qualifiers.
Number 13.
Anthony McGill, who could forget that semi-final against Kyron Wilson 2 years ago? What was it, an hour and 20 minutes? It was absolutely nuts.
We'll play number 23.
Liam Highfield, back for a 3rd Crucible campaign, a 10-7 winner on Judgment Day.
Number 10.
Number 10, Sean Murphy. What a run to the final last year. Champion, of course, back in 05, and he's won the Masters and the UK Crown.
We'll play number 22.
We'll play Stephen Maguire. What a first-round match. Maguire back for a 19th consecutive Crucible campaign. That is a horrible first-round match.
Number 8.
Mark Williams, who could forget, although we try, the naked press conference after his 3rd world title in 2018.
Thanks for that, I'd just forgotten. We'll play number 32.
Oh, it had to be. It had to be an all-Welsh clash. He's up against Michael White.
Number 15.
Mark Allen, former semi-finalist, newly crowned Northern Ireland Open champion. What a victory that was against John Higgins in Belfast.
We'll play number 24.
We'll play Scott Donaldson, 10-1 thrashing of Alan Taylor in the qualifiers.
Number 2.
I knew it was going to be O'Sullivan by the cheeky look on Mark Pearson's face. World number 1, bidding to make it a magnificent 7, and Ronnie will play.
Number 18.
David Gilbert, Championship League winner and semi-finalist in 2019. That is good enough to be a final.
Number 12.
Number 12, Stuart Bingham. What a win in 2015.
We'll play number 28.
We'll play Liu Heo Chan, back at the Crucible for a 3rd time after his victory over Dominic Dale.
Number 14.
Jack Lazowski, 6 times a ranking event finalist, came through a 10-9 thriller against Ali Carter in the 1st round last year.
We'll play number 26.
We'll play Matthew Stevens. What a comeback from 5-1 down against Ali Carter. Twice a finalist, of course.
And finally, number 11.
Luca Bracel won his 2nd ranking title, winning the Scottish Open earlier this season.
Well, if I'm right, he's got a tough game with number 21.
Oh, Nopon Siankam,
Absolutely.
who beat Rob Milkins in the qualifiers. Wow. John, some absolute epics. Ronnie O'Sullivan against Dave Gilbert. Any other week, any other event, that's a final.
Fantastic. And Sean Murphy against Stephen Maguire. That is another absolute corker for the 1st round match.
Oh, Neil Robertson, Mark, has got Ashley Hugill. In a way, you feel sorry for Hugill, but if you look at it the other way round, he's riding high. He's never got this close to the Crucible before. He's the only Yorkshireman in the draw, and he'll get huge support. Maybe his adrenaline can produce an incredible upset against Neil Robertson.
Yeah, he's a debutant. He's got nothing to lose. He's just got to go out and play. We've seen, obviously, debutants win before, haven't we, in the 1st round against the big names. But Ronnie O'Sullivan versus Dave Gilbert. 2:30 on Saturday afternoon. That's 2:30 on Saturday afternoon. Easter Saturday. What a cracker.
Oh, it's just going to be absolutely superb. Now, before we do the full recap on the 16 matches, it's only appropriate that we hear from the man who, by tradition, will be introduced at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. What a run to the final and his 4th title last year. It is, of course, the reigning defending Betfred World Champion, Mark Selby.
All I ever wanted to do as a snooker player growing up was to try and become world number 1 and world champion. So once I achieved them, if I'd have only won the worlds once, I'd have been happy. But to win it 4 times was something beyond my expectations.
And what would it mean if you could do it again?
Yeah, I mean everything. I mean, obviously I've won it 4 times, so there's no reason why you can't win it again. But the standard of snooker nowadays is as tough as ever. And the tournament in general is the hardest tournament to win over 2 weeks, physically and mentally. So I'll go there trying as always, and we'll see what happens.
Because you're only 38, and I say only 38, but
I don't look it, do I?
No, you look a young 38. But I say only 38 because look at what Higgins, Ronnie and Mark Williams are doing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, people like them sort of inspire me, because you always think, right, I'm getting on now, I'm getting older, and you don't know when your last match is going to come. But you look at people like you say, Ronnie, Higgins, Williams, still competing at the top of the game, still challenging for tournaments. So when I look at their age, as long as you stay healthy and fit, for me, if I've got the hunger, that tells me that you can still play to their age and play to that level. So there's no reason why you can't. It's just whether I still keep enjoying the game that much.
And how will it feel getting introduced as world champion on that Saturday morning?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The last few months has been quite tough off the table and even on the table because of how I've been mentally. So that's probably be good walking out there to have something to smile about.
You'll get a brilliant reception.
I hope so. I mean, every time I've gone out there as defending champion in the past, it's been great. Playing on that first day is amazing as well, starting the tournament off, but all you want to do is just get that first round win out the way, because if you don't win, then you sort of feel as though you're out the tournament before it's even started. So I'll be going there trying my hardest and really looking forward to it.
You've mentioned you've had a tough few months.
Yeah.
Do you feel in a better place mentally?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not out the woods yet, but I definitely feel as though I'm going in the right direction. I've been working with a psychiatrist doctor from London who's been brilliant. I've been working with him since January, and he's seen the improvements in me. I've slowly started seeing the improvements in me, and so is Vicky, so I feel like I'm going in the right direction.
And how tough was it to actually talk about it publicly? Or how tough is it to talk about it publicly now?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough because I feel like I've been going through it for quite a few years, and I've just been bottling it up and just getting on with life and not really letting many people know. I mean, obviously Vicky knows that I've been struggling for quite a while, but to actually physically say it was tough, and hence why obviously it took me so long to come out and say it. But when I did say it, straight away I felt as though half the battle was won by saying it, because I feel as though I can be myself now. I don't have to like put on a front, and if I wasn't feeling great and people was asking you, are you okay, you could actually say no, where before I was just saying yes and basically just lying really and bluffing it. But now I can just, if I'm not having a great day, I can just tell people, and they obviously know why.
Well, I can speak on behalf of everyone that we are delighted Mark Selby is getting the help he requires. He's such a wonderful character to have around the circuit, and I'm sure he'll get a fabulous introduction at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. Selby, the reigning Betfred World Snooker Champion. Now, if you've just joined us, here is a quick recap of who is playing who. We've got Mark Selby against Jamie Jones, Ronnie O'Sullivan against Dave Gilbert. Ronnie bidding for a magnificent 7. Dave Gilbert, semi-finalist back in 2019, came within a single frame of making it through to the final. Neil Robertson, this season's outstanding performer with 4 titles, 3 of them since Christmas against the debutant Ashley Hugill. Judd Trump up against Hossein Vafai. Hossein Vafai making history for Iran, the first player from his country who'll walk down those famous stairs. Kyron Wilson against Ding Junhui. What a match that's going to be. The last time Ding came through qualifying, he made it all the way to the final. John Higgins against Tepchaya Unnu. So unlucky in some regards for Tepchaya to draw John once again, but he was magnificent. 4 centuries. Finished with 3 figures against Matthew Selt. A fantastic way to round off that match. Matt Selt played really well, so if Tepchaya can replicate that form, maybe he can put the 4-time world champion under pressure. Xiao Xintong, wonderful run in York for the UK title in December, but Jamie Clark came within a single frame of the quarters when he first played at the Crucible 2 years ago. Mark Williams will not be in any mood to hand any frames to his compatriot Michael White. He will want to bury White Lightning, but Michael was in tears after making it back to the Crucible once again. We're delighted to have him on the sport's big stage. Jackson Page, another Welshman. This time it's a debut for the 20-year-old. He practices in the same club as Mark Williams. He's taking on Barry Hawkins. Wonderful run to the final in 2013. Ronnie O'Sullivan always said if Barry Hawkins had played anyone but him, he would have won that title. Sean Murphy against Stephen Maguire. Absolutely brutal. Again, good enough to be a final, and yet they meet in the first round. And Stephen Maguire making it through to a 19th consecutive Crucible. That is quite some record. Puts him in the top 10 of all time, I think. Luca Bracel against Noppon Siankam. Noppon, the second player from Thailand to make it through. Stuart Bingham and Liu Hao-Chan. Liu Hao-Chan, a very, very dominant performance in the qualifiers. Anthony McGill against Liam Highfield. Liam Highfield, a cool, calm, collected customer. He's looking forward to having full crowds back at the Crucible, so maybe he can be buoyed by all the support he'll get. Jack Lisowski and Matthew Stevens. What a comeback by Matthew Stevens. He was 5-1 down against Ali Carter and comes back for, I think, an 18th Crucible campaign, taking on Lisowski. Mark Allen and Scott Donaldson, a battle of very proud Celts. Allen, remember, won the Northern Ireland Open. Scott Donaldson will fancy that one, though. He won the Championship League a couple of years ago. And Yan Bing Tiao against Chris Wakelin. Wakelin, a player who's never lost on Judgment Day. John, a quick recap once again. O'Sullivan and Gilbert is a ridiculous match. Absolutely brutal. It's one not to be missed.
Absolutely, and it's a great start. As Mark's give you the date when it's on as well on the first afternoon. That's going to be one to watch. It's remiss not to mention the other one. I mean, Kyron Wilson and Ding Junhui. That is an absolute belting first round match as well. I mean, Ding's come through there. He's capable of winning a World Championship. Not quite happened, but he's got a real tough start with Kyron Wilson.
And what about Maguire and Murphy, Mark?
That's going to be very, very close in a betting. That could be a toss of a coin, couldn't it? So much experience between them as well. That's going to be a hell of a game. Kyron Wilson versus Ding Junhui. We've mentioned Ronnie O'Sullivan versus Dave Gilbert, but some fantastic ties. And Mark Selby kicks us off on Saturday morning. He'll get a brilliant reception.
He certainly will. Mark, thanks very much. John, I know you're looking forward to the 17-day marathon. So am I. That is it. The draw is complete. 16 matches to kick things off. It's 10 o'clock Saturday morning at the Cathedral of Snooker. It's the Crucible. It's time for the 2022 Betfred World Snooker Championship. Don't miss a single second. Every ball, every frame, every match live on Eurosport and the BBC. See you Saturday.
The Crucible is like no other venue.
For 17 days,
You have to be mentally.
and physically strong.
If you switch off for a moment,
You could be going home.
It's every player's dream to walk out onto that stage.
you hear the announcer.
This is Sheffield. This is the Crucible, and it's time.
And the crowd roars.
Then silence. It can make or break players.
But it can become like a second home.
Lifting the trophy can change your life.
All the practice.
All the sacrifices.
To be Betfred World Snooker Champion.
To be Betfred World Snooker Champion.
To be Betfred World Snooker Champion.
It's everything.
The Betfred World Snooker Championships.
2022.
The drama has yet to be written.
Yeah, big thanks to all our guests. Hope you enjoyed the Betfred World Snooker Championship draw. It has thrown up some absolute belters, hasn't it? Thanks to Rob, John Parrott and our very Mark Pearson as well. But heard from the world number one Mark Selby taking on Jamie Jones there. Former winner Mark Williams against Michael White. Joe Trump, Hussein Vafay, the opposition. Neil Robertson against Ashley Hudgell. Sean Murphy against Stephen Maguire. And Ronnie O'Sullivan faces Dave Gilbert. Just some of the pick of the draw from this morning. Thanks for your company in your Betfred shop and